All right, 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 all right. It's your boy Joe back at it again, codingphase.com. Yeah, man, I had to restart my computer, guys. What's going on? Today's live stream, we're going to be looking for some entry level positions. We're going to be live. Again, make sure you leave a message. Make sure that you leave a comment. Show me some love on the live stream. Also, today is my birthday. Okay, the mood is up. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me. How's the camera? Is the internet good? I'm stealing Wi-Fi, guys, so let me know if the internet's good. Okay, hopefully my neighbor doesn't move the antenna. All right, shout out to everybody in here. Okay, I want to see everybody pop up in the live stream. I want to see everybody pop up in the live stream. Okay, shout out to my homegirl Deborah. Angela Green says, "Hey, happy birthday!" Yeah, man. We getting old, man. We getting old. You see the grays. You see your boys washed up. You know what I mean? We getting old, man. You know what I mean? It's one of those days now, man. We definitely. Okay, someone said audio and video visible. Okay, great, because I just started another live stream right before this one, and it was just very choppy. My screen was going very slow. I had to restart the computer and just, close all the tabs. I got a million tabs and a million windows open, and I had a freaking LLM Studio running on my computer. So my computer is like, please close something. You ever been, having like mad apps for mad days? This is a bad habit that we have as MacBook users. Like, we have this bad habit that we just leave the computer on. Like, technically, we supposed to turn off the computer, guys. So the computer could get a rest. It could fucking shut down, could reset the memory, could close up everything. So when you open up your computer, it could be nice and fresh. But we got this bad habit that all we do is close the screen, and we think that's it. Now you gotta turn it off, my guy. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to D Charles. So yeah, D Charles said Arizona. So we're gonna be actually looking for jobs in your area. So again, go ahead and leave the states that you want me to look for, and we're gonna focus today on states. We're not even gonna look for remote positions. We're gonna focus strictly on specific states. So go ahead and leave them on the chat, and we're gonna start right now. Okay, by the way, for anybody that's watching this, guys, we have that 50% off on codingphase.com. Okay, I know some people hit me up earlier and they were like, "Yo, Joe, I'm about to send you a super chat." Don't send me a super chat. Don't send me nothing. If you want to do anything, you come in and you work with me. Okay, you come to codingphase.com. It's my birthday. Okay, it's birthday season. You know what I mean? So if we on birthday season, what you gonna do, right? You come to codingphase.com and let me work for it. I don't want nothing for free. I want to work for you, and I want to get you guys results this year. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, shout out to everybody that's in here. I see a couple of people popping up. Hawk says Ohio. Okay, so Ohio is the second state that we're going to jump into. All right, great. So like I said, you know what I mean? We're going to go in. Give me 1 second. Why this screen is showing like different screens? I don't know. There's something wrong. Like, there's multiple tabs when there isn't. I'm trying to figure out where this windows are coming from. Give me 1 second, guys, because I need to be able to set it up where when I click a button, it switches to the right screen. All right, cool. So we have this one here. All right, cool. All right, so it seems like it's working. Let me see one more time. Okay, here we go. There you go. Okay, so that's my screen. Okay, 1 and 2. All right. Okay, so we got 1 and we got 2. There we go. All right, cool. So like I said, guys, we got codingphase.com 50% off. Okay, limited time only. Take advantage this week. This is the Black Friday Cyber Monday sale. People told me, "Hey Joe, could you extend it till this Friday?" I said, cool, why not? It don't cost me nothing to extend it. And at the end of the day, if you want it at a certain price, here you go. It's $30 a month, $182 for the whole year. You're basically paying $1 a day. or 50 cents a day. It's up to you what you want to pay. All right. But definitely take advantage. A lot of cool stuff is coming into codingphase.com. We just basically released a new interactive course, which is this one, Master CSS Flexbox. If you've been struggling with CSS and Flexbox specifically, guess what? Go ahead and check out this course. Okay. Pretty straightforward. You could come in. We have everything laid out for you. I show you exactly how to use Flexbox in the easiest way, the easiest form, the right way. Okay. Sometimes you trying to learn a new topic. Guess what? I have everything laid out for you, so it could be much easier, and also too, you can understand how this thing works. Okay, so if you've been wanting to learn Flexbox, okay, we have that on Coding Phase as an interactive lesson, and of course, you know, we have the different type of career paths. For right now, we're focusing on email development, Shopify development, and web administration. We do have a bunch of courses on Coding Phase if you want to learn full stack development. Right now, we still haven't set up the career paths for that on the new version of Coding Phase, but all the courses are there. Okay, so if you want to learn PHP, you want to learn how to build full stack applications, you want to learn React, whatever it is that you want, it's on Coding Phase. We have it there. Okay, but as far as career paths, we're focusing on the things that's going to get you a job as soon as possible. That's why we're focusing on email development, Shopify, and web administration, and the next career path, which is automation. Okay, automation. So we're going to focus on teaching you guys things like NAN, using different AI tools to help businesses generate income. Okay, everything from, you know, how to create ads using AI, how to set up automations with like Go High Level to be able to capture leads for businesses, set up the automations for the emails, set up the automations for SMS, right, which is text messages. Okay, again, this is the next career path that's coming through. All right. I also want to let you guys know that if you guys haven't checked out the trading course that we have on Coding Phase, people have been asking me how to do this. Hey, Joe, I want to learn from you. Guess what? This is the time. All right, so links in the description. You could pre-order it, early bird price, which is basically another 50% off. And yeah, so this is what we have so far in the course. We have, you know, the introduction. This is a mixture between video lessons, text, right? So content, and also images and examples. On top of that, every single day, I'm uploading a small account challenge and showing you guys how this works in real time, right? Meaning that in real life, you know, every single day when you come home, right, you could see what happened by me following the same rules that I'm teaching you. So there's no bullshit here. You know what I'm saying? And you see all the trades. So for example, like the first day, which was day one, which was December 1st, we had a 5%. Day two, we had minus 3%, right? Negative 3%. So then from there, this morning we did, I believe, another 4%. So technically we are around like 5-6% total portfolio. Now, again, this is no bullshit. This is like, I'm showing you guys the real world, right? Like how this shit works, right? Some days you're gonna go in, win. Some days you're gonna lose. The goal is to have more green days than red days. All right. Also, too, there was a reason why we had a red day yesterday, and it was because we didn't follow the rules. And that's something that, you know, I show you inside of the course to tell you, like, sometimes you get FOMO. So FOMO means fear of missing out. And when you use your phone, right, you could make a lot of big mistakes. So yesterday was actually a profitable day. And by me going in and using my phone, right, I had fat fingers. I pressed the wrong button. And for one little mistake, that cost me 3%. So basically, you know, like we went a little bit backwards, but I'm showing you this because this is stuff that you're going to do as a beginner that, you know, it's a mistake that you could make, right? And it's fine, because then the following day, all you have to do is correct that, right? So what was the mistake from yesterday? Very simple. Using the phone to trade on a day trade. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Okay, I can tell you right now, that's how you're gonna lose money, because you just don't have the right tools to be able to make the right decision. Okay, so yeah, so you're seeing all of this. So I'm teaching you the course right now. Let me see if I show you right now. Right now we are going through the introduction, right? Like in here, I tell you, hey man, this is the intro, right? The tools we are using, looking to become rich, trading. Okay, watch this. All right. So if you are one of those people that think like, hey man, I'm looking to become rich, watch this video before anything. Okay, this is gonna tell you the real truth about this. Okay, what to expect in the course. Then from there we go into trading versus investing, types of markets, right? We're focusing on two types of trading, which is stock market and also futures. That's it. Okay, if you decide to go into crypto with this knowledge, if you decide to go into Forex, that's on you. My goal here is to teach you, you know, the skills of how to use the tools and how to trade safely as possible, right? Yeah, because those are the things that I wish somebody would have taught me. And again, I believe that it's very important to have this skill, because it took me years to learn this, but I don't think that it should take you years, especially if it's taught to you the right way. Okay. Again, and in the right order. Because one of the things that I did, you know, when I was like first starting to trade, right? I started trading in 2011, 2012 back then, but using this app called Stash, which was like, it would take a little bit of money and invest it into like Nvidia, Google, etc., which it was fun, it was cool, but in reality you want to be able to have a broker that you could go in and buy and sell whenever you want to. So for me, one of the mistakes that I was making was, you know, and it wasn't a mistake, it's just like there's so much information out there and so many people that talk about trading and stuff like that, that you get overwhelmed. So you follow this guy's strategy, right? And then that doesn't work, then you follow this other guys, and then this other guys, and this other guys, and then you watch a YouTube video, and then you watch this other YouTube video, and you watch this Instagram, this TikTok. It's too much shit. Everybody's doing too much different shit, okay? Which confuses you, and then at the end of the day, you become unprofitable, okay? 2023, I basically lost like $50,000. I came in with $15,000 day trading, got it to $50,000, and I lost it. Right from there, 2024, 2025, I went in, you know, really taught myself, learned from a couple of individuals myself, and found the right resources, read books, a bunch of shit, right? And then from there, I'm in a point where I'm profitable. Not by trying to become a millionaire, by trying to become rich, not by trying to get 100% on a trade, by trying to get anywhere from 3% to 10% a day. Okay, that's the golden rule. Okay, if you do that and you're able to select your trades, you can become profitable. The moment you start trying to become rich and become like, hey, I want to make a $500 a day or a $5,000 a day, that's the worst way to trade. You want to go in and trade depending on your capital. And then from there, you know, going in and saying, hey, this money is going to compound. Again, right now we are, I believe, like 6% up already on this $1,000 small challenge. So as I'm teaching you the course, I'm showing you, hey, how I'm taking this $1,000 and we're growing it. What's the goal? I believe I could get it to 70, 80% by the end of the month. Now, if I get it to 50%, that's still good, because the next following month, I'll go in and instead of starting with 1,000, I'll start with $1,500, right? And then the following month after that, instead of $1,500, I'll start with 2,000, 2,100 or 2,500. You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's compounding. Once you have your capital, once you have a system that works, then now from there on, you can actually go in and say, okay, if I'm able to make $50, now all I have to do is scale this to figure out how I could go in and make $100, right? But using the same system, not changing it, not trying to over trade, not trying to over leverage yourself, keeping it very simple. This is what has helped me to understand how to do this shit. I was doing this shit the wrong way before, okay? So now this is why I want to go in and teach it to some of you guys that's interested in this, so you don't have to lose your money, right? The worst feeling is when you lose money that you work hard, right? Because you jumped into something blindly, right? Also too, when we go into this course, the last part that you're going to do is actually trading. I don't want you trading until you actually understand how to use the tools. And that's what we're going to be focusing on first. Okay. How to use the tools, how to use TradingView, how to use Webull, right? How to set up the right orders, how to be able to go in, set up your stop losses, what's a good entry, what's a bad entry. Okay. And then from there, once you have gone through, a certain amount of time and you have been profitable, right, for a certain amount of time, then from there you could go in and take a risk that you might want to take. Okay, you could start with $100, you could start with $50, you could start with $1,000. It's up to you, right? I suggest to always start with less than $1,000. Okay. And that's why I'm doing that small challenge to show you how, by following this system of just keeping it small, right? 3 to 10%. If you make 3 to 10% on a daily basis, it adds up. Okay. 20 times 4. Okay. If you go in and you say, well, I'm only making 4%, and you say, well, there's 21 days times 4, you're basically going in and you're basically averaging 84% of your initial investment. Okay. So this is what I had to learn the hard way. Okay. I had to learn the hard way. I was trying to go in and be like the big boys, to be like, well, as a beginner, I have to go in and make, $500 a day, $1,000 a day. That's what was killing me in 2023. 2024, I figured out that, guess what? I always win. I'm always picking the right trades, but I'm never leaving with profit, or I'm not leaving early enough before it drops. So now, by going in and keeping it safe as a beginner, going from 3% to 10%, now this is the sweet spot. Getting a 3% is easy. Okay. But, getting a 50%, you're risking it. So that's what I'm trying to save you guys from and teach you guys in this course. So definitely go check it out if you guys are interested. Links in the description. Like I said, today's my birthday. You don't have to give me no super chat. Don't show me no love on super chat. You don't have to. If anything, allow me to work for you. That's it. You get what I'm saying? I don't want nobody giving me nothing. I'd rather work for it. All right. So shout out to everybody that's in here. So let's get into it. Okay. We got into the topic. We already talked about coding phase. We already talked about the trading cards. We already talked about everything. Okay. Let's get into the meat of this. Okay. So let's go into Indeed.com. Right. Let's see. We're going to start with Arizona. Right. So we're going to focus on Arizona. Right. That was the first state that somebody mentioned. And then from there, I believe Ohio. So we're going to start with this. Okay. And give this a second. All right, here we go. So in here, let's see. Let's go by date and let's see what's happening today. All right, so we have digital marketing manager. Okay, let's look at the description. Don't get scared. Whenever you see something that says manager, even though you see the word manager, it means like, oh my God, he's gonna be supervising a bunch of people. No, in tech, right? In a lot of corporate companies, the word manager, it could also be used by managing something, right? So a digital marketing manager could just be managing, an email campaign. It could be managing the website. That's it. Doesn't mean that you're managing a bunch of people. So you have to go through the description of this. So this is in Gilbert, Arizona. Okay. Let's see. Serve as the product owner for Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Okay. So focusing on Salesforce. All right. Let's see in here. Provide light front end support for microsites hosted on WordPress. So as you can see, right. So they're focusing on email development and web administration. So again, do not get scared about applying to a role like this. Now, they do mention Salesforce. You can't get experience with Salesforce unless you actually have a license, unless a company hires you, right? It's almost impossible for you to go in and get experience with Salesforce unless you're willing to pay for a major license, which could cost you $1,500. Now, if you're willing to pay $1,500, you'll definitely make your money back. But the average person doesn't have $1,500 to pay for 1 month on Salesforce. Okay, so that's just the facts. All right, so you could still apply to the job, and then once a company gives you the opportunity, you'll have that experience. So it's fine to take a lower pay if you get into a company that uses Salesforce, and they say, well, we got 65 for you, but you want 85. I will take the 65 just off the experience that I'm about to get, because now I get to use Salesforce. I get to get my Salesforce certification. And then from there, my next job, I could be making 85 to 120,000. You got to think long term. And sometimes you got to, understand that you got to put in that work. Okay. If a company's taking a risk and they're going to train you on Salesforce, take it. So let's continue with this. Let's see what else we have here. Workforce data. Okay. Marketing automation specialist. Again, email development, right? Okay. As you can see, let's see. They're using Marketo. All right. Solid HTML, CSS skills for responsive email design. All right. So yes, email development. Okay. For those of you guys that be like, man, should I become an email developer? You will have to be stupid to be out here for a year and no job, when in reality, there's a bunch of jobs in every single state, because every company needs a team, right, to go in and either create the web applications or to help them sell their products. Okay. There's a marketing strategist, which is the person who goes in, creates the strategy, creates the copy, creates the idea of what they're going to push out there. And then there's the automation specialist or marketing specialist or, marketing manager, you know what I'm saying? Or, email campaign manager. Like, there's so many titles that basically do the same thing. That's why you got to always read through the description and understand what the job really consists of. Okay. So let's continue with the software engineer 2, SEO and digital marketing specialist. Again, this is the same ecosystem. All right. This is a mixture between web administration, right? Understanding how SEO works. Okay. You could learn SEO on a weekend. SEO is not difficult. SEO is not out of this world. All right. This is something that you can learn on a weekend. If you feel nervous about, SEO, or you see SEO in the title, you could literally watch a YouTube tutorial. Like, straight up, I'm being honest. Like, I wouldn't pay for a course on SEO, because it's just like, you could literally ask ChatGPT, like, what's the best way to set up SEO for a company, right? Like, it's something so simple like that. But what's not simple is having the technical skills, right? Understanding how to work with a CMS system, understanding how to work with Google Search Console, how to set up Google Analytics, right? How to look through SEMrush and be able to use that tool, how to set up Google Tag Manager. The average person don't know how to do this, all right? And the reason that is because it's technical skills that come with it. You need to know HTML. You need to know how to work with CSS. You need to work with a CMS system. You need to work with different dashboards that Google has to be able to go in and do your job. So I can't go in and say, hey guys, just learn this on a weekend. You're not going to be able to be prepared. But you guys, if you come to codingphase.com, that's the skills that we focus on, right? Those technical skills. So then now you can go in and apply to this roles, which gives you a advantage over the random guy or the random girl that just has a journalism, a journalism degree, because they'll show up with just a degree. They'll be like, well, I got my degree, right? And they'll be like, well, can I get hired? But guess what? They don't really have no real skills. They will have to train them on how to use this technical skills, right? And then from there, they got to train them on how to do the job, because every company is different. Every company has their own flow, right? With having the technical skills allows you to say, you know what? You don't have to train me on this, right? I can come in and do the job, and whatever I don't know, I can learn. And also too, I'm willing to put in the work to learn after work. That's big, okay? Always mention this when you're going into an interview, even if you don't know something. Always mention that you are willing to take out of your own time to learn whatever it is that they need you to do, okay? To allow you to do a better job. You know why? Because a lot of people go in and be like, well, I'm doing this shit on the company's time, right? I'm getting trained on the company's time. That mentality doesn't work because the company doesn't pay you to train you. That's a big mistake that a lot of people do, right? I see this all the time. A lot of people come in and they have this entitlement of like, well, you know, what happened to companies training you? Well, the difference between a technical job and a job where you're picking up boxes, right, at a warehouse. In a warehouse, they got to train you. They say, well, this is a high-low. Don't put this shit on your foot. Okay, don't put your foot under that shit because you're going to crush your foot and you're going to get hurt. Okay, here's the exit. Here's the fire extinguisher. That's it. That's your training. Go take this box to IOG 11. You get what I'm saying? Pick this box, go take it to, or put it on the high-low and go take it to the truck. That's the training that you're going to get at a bullshit job. They supposed to train you. It's a bullshit job, right? They're not paying you to perform. They're paying you because this is a job that now we got to train you and now we got to teach you how to do this. And this is something that we just need, you know, hands on it. When you go and work at some of these companies, right, and they're paying you X amount of dollars, they're paying you to perform. They're not paying you for you to go in and actually, you know, get trained on the job. I see this all the time where people will be like, well, people are not hiring entry-level positions or they're not hiring junior developers. The truth is that companies are not supposed to train you, especially when they go in and say, well, this guy wants $80,000, $90,000, $100-something thousand, right? Coming straight out of college, right? It could be some bullshit university or it could be a bullshit, associate's degree, right? Or maybe they went to a huge company or a huge university, MIT, let's say, right? At that point, it's different, right? We know the type of candidate that's coming out of MIT. But if you come in and tell me, hey, man, I went to the University of Phoenix online, what's the... You get what I'm saying? Like, companies is looking at that like, bro, you got to come in with more, right? Now, I see a lot of people that come in with this mentality of entitlement of like, well, I got my degree. I was told in high school that if I have a degree, I could get the job. Well, the market changed. You have to understand that when a degree was special, no one had it, right? Most people had a high school diploma, and that's what they will go into the workforce. And companies will have to go in and train them. Now we are in a different age. We are in the information age, okay? The only places where you're going to get trained on, right? That just sounds crazy, right? The only place you're going to get trained on, right, is going to be in like a bullshit job that pays you the bare minimum, okay? When a company goes in and says, hey, I'm willing to pay you more than $50,000, you are getting paid so you can perform a job. And if you cannot perform that job, you need to show me that you will do whatever it takes to be able to come in and be as productive as possible in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So when you go to these interviews, you have to make sure you let the person know, even if they mention something that they like you never seen before, right? You say, listen, I know what this job consists of. I know this skill, this skill, this skill, this skill. I know you guys use this other system, but I'm willing to go in and spend, any time that I have to after work to learn that skill so I could be proficient in the next week to next 2 weeks. That right there separates you from 99% of the people that go to that job interview. Most people show up with the entitlement of, I got my paperwork. I got my degree. I went to a boot camp. I took 20,000 Udemy courses, right? So now I deserve to get a job and I deserve to get paid X amount of dollars because that's what you guys are paying. No, people are paying that so people can go in and produce, okay? No one pays you a lot of money for hugs and kisses and be like, well, we just want to be nice. It don't work like that. You got to produce. And if somebody got to go in and train you for a month, 2 months, 3 months on something, and you're not really producing like how at the level that we need you to do, now we're wasting money. We're putting money into you. And then what usually happens, especially in the tech industry, the truth is that we jump a lot. Okay, we go in from one company to another company that pays us the most. So this company that goes in and says, well, I took the risk in hiring you and you didn't have no skills. We trained you for 3 months. And then now, after we trained you for 3 months, let's say they're paying, let's say $7,000, $8,000 a month, right? So now we're talking about what, like $24,000 that we invested into you. And then 3 to 4 months later, you want to go into another company that now will pay you more because they don't have to train you. So they're paying you more because now you could produce. But what happened to us? We just pay you $30,000 to train you, right? And then now you jump and ship to the next company. We did an investment on you that we're not getting no returns back. So you have to also look from both sides. Okay, a lot of times people look from one side and be like, well, company's not hiring. Why I can't get a job? A lot of people try to game the system and fucked it up for all of us. Okay, that's the facts. Okay, companies don't want to go in and invest into training. So now you got to go into a job already ready to hit the ground running. This is why when you come to Coding Phase and I focus on these skills, I'm not teaching you how to code. I'm teaching you how to do certain jobs that takes the skills of coding to do the job. That's what companies want. They don't want somebody that comes in, well, I know how to code. I know what a for loop is. That shit's irrelevant at a job. I need you to do a certain function here. And if you cannot serve it, now we're just wasting money on you. And I don't know if you're going to leave in 6 months. That's the facts. All right. So let's continue with this. So we went over Arizona. What other state? Well, I think we're going to go into Ohio. Okay. Stealing Wi-Fi. Damn, bro, you been around since the ghetto curtain? Nah, bro, you been here that long, bro? Shit, hell no. Now you 2019 dudes, man. Stop playing. Stop acting like you've been here since 2017, bro. Talking about the ghetto curtain. You been here since 2017, bro? Yo, you an OG like that? My man's been here since the ghetto curtain. For those of you guys that don't know, back in 2017 when I first started this channel, this whole that's what people would be like, yo, how is this guy freaking live all the time? And I was grinding, man. I was grinding. Also too, my sister had passed away, so y'all know the story. I'm not gonna get too much into it. My sister got sick in 2016 on December 25th, right? So this month is kind of crazy for me. December 25th, December 27th, she passed away. So my mind was like really crazy. Like, how can I say this? Like, I just want to be busy. I don't want to think that my little sister passed away. So what I did was I just made this channel my life. I went in and say, I'm going to help a whole bunch of people. I'm going to do as much as I can, as much content. I'm going to, put the word out that, hey man, this is a great career. And if you want to learn the skills, you just got to come in and put in the work. Okay. And yeah, man, back then we used to do live streams. Let me see if I find one. Like, that's crazy. You just brought me back memories, bro. The ghetto curtain, man. Somebody watching this shit now in 2025, like, yo, the ghetto curtain, what the hell is this guy talking about? All right, let me see if I find it by date. Okay, let me see a live stream. Let's see if we find one good live stream from the ghetto curtain. Yo, this is crazy. So yeah, let me show you this, right? So this is old school. A lot of these live streams, I took them down, bro, because it was so raw. Like, if y'all think I'm raw now, back then was raw. Like, we was going in, and every day we would come in and do this live stream. Shout out to Matt. Matt killing it over there in if I'm not mistaken, the UK. Killing in the space of Node.js and all of that. We had a lot of people. I wonder where all these people is at, man. But yeah, man, this was the ghetto curtain right here, guys. shout out to Shorty. I forgot her name. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember if it was Cynthia. Damn, it's crazy. We've been here for so long, bro. Joe with the Gap, you know what I mean? This is old school. This is before Joe went bougie. You know what I'm saying? Joe with the Gap before Joe went bougie. Before Joe got the Cardi B special, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm too raw, man. But yeah, guys, listen. This is old school days, bro. This is 2017. So shout out to Bro Trippin', been with me for a long time, man. Solid dude, man. Shout out to everybody in here. We see Addison. What's going on? D Charles. Yes, we just went over Phoenix, right? Or Arizona. We didn't see nothing in Phoenix, but I saw a lot of in other spots. Shout out to everybody's like, yo, Sagittarius season. Okay, Hawk says Ohio. We about to get into Ohio right now. Let me just go through the chat real quick so people don't be like, yo, I said happy birthday. Look how we acting. He don't even read the comments. You know what I mean? You know how people be? People be like, look at him. He bougie now. Joe Hollywood now. You know what I mean? Joe B. You know what I mean? After he got the Cardi B special. You know what I mean? Joe B. He don't talk to nobody now, right? That's how people be. Like, I'll never forget this. There's a guy that one time, and shout out to the Indians, man. Shout out to the Indians. The Indians will be, you know, that's why I stopped doing the portfolio reviews. Indian dude will be like, yo, I saw you in the live stream. Why you didn't answer my email? I'm looking around like, yo, did you pay me to read your email? Do I know you? I sent you my email and you didn't do my portfolio review, but you doing a live stream as if I owe him something. Like the entitlement that people get is like, yo, you did 2 live streams today and you couldn't do my portfolio review. Like that should be wild sometimes. So at least let me go through the chat so I could go in and give everybody their shout out and they don't feel funny. They'll be like, damn, Joe don't even fucking read the chat no more. Joe Hollywood, you know what I mean? Joe B, you know what I mean? Yeah, shout out to everybody in here, man. Guys, my mood is up. Okay. Is like I said, it's a birthday today. And yeah, we in a good mood. I might touch down in the casino. I did really, really good this morning in the stock market. I might go in and go into the go into the casino and be like, yo, rub some of this shit on me. Like, yo, hold on, bro. Maybe I'm hot right now. You know, today was a very good day for me in the stock market. By the way, we only did like 4 or 5% on the small account challenge in the trading course. And that's because I'm being conservatively. I'm trading as if I'm one of you guys who's just starting. This is how I would like you guys to start, which is like small trades. But for me, I did like a good 20% on my main account. So I'm Gucci. You know what I'm saying? This is one of those moments where I'm like, shit, maybe I'll buy a new. You ever get that feeling of like, do I need a new monitor? Like you start looking around, you get some money. Sometimes we get money and we like, man, do I need a new car? Do I need a new monitor or something? What do I need here, guys? A new camera? What can I get? You get what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Sometimes when you start getting some money, you start looking around like, where can I waste this shit out? So guess what? I'm about to go to the casino. Fuck that. Go to the casino, go see what's going on in there. Maybe rub some of this good luck, this birthday luck on me, and see how much we could come out of there. You know what I mean? And if I make a bag, I might throw, you know, a Christmas gift to y'all. You know what I mean? Get a little care package. Military then Cole was good, family. Happy birthday, getting old. Yes, man. Look up Florida. Yes, we're about to get into Florida. First, we got to go into Ohio and then Florida. Okay. And let me see. Reading through here. They moving the antenna. Chris Sean don't have no sex tape. You crazy. Shout out to my boy Chris Sean. Coding Face Uncut. Yeah, man. Freddie Martinez says, I've been here since the dreaded death days. Word. All right, cool. So let's get into it, guys. We over here talking about shit that people out here is like, yo, I don't know what they talking about. Like, yeah, you haven't been here that long. Welcome to the community, my guy. All right, so let's go in and search on Ohio, right? Ohio is an up and coming market. For those of you guys that don't know, it's an up and coming market. And what's cool about Ohio is that shit is dirt cheap. You go to Ohio, you say, yo, let me get Let me get a house. Matter of fact, not even a house. You say, let me get a Snicker. Let me get a Snicker bar, and they give you 2 houses. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is cheap over there. Okay, so there's a lot of opportunity for growth. Sometimes they don't pay the most, but it's fine because the cost of living is not that much as far as, like, rent and property. I remember there was a time where you could go to Ohio and you get a 3-bedroom apartment for $600. Right now, it's probably going to be a little bit more. All right. But if you live a little bit closer to the hood, you ain't going to get that far off that 600. You're going to be like a good 1,200. So it's dirt cheap over there. So let me see. Marketing coordinator, $22 to $27 an hour. So as you can see, the pay is not going to be like something amazing. But again, the opportunities is there. Also, too, remember, focus on the cost of living. Okay. Focus on your cost of living. Don't focus on the money itself. Of course, we all want to make as much money as possible, but what you really care about is getting experience. Okay, brand multimedia specialist, marketing communication, right? So this is going to be like a web administrator position. This is in the University of Cincinnati. Okay, your job is going to be to basically maintain everything that's on the website, right? As far as like creating short form content, right? Support web experiences, photos, videos, right? For those of you guys that have a background in graphic design, could be a good opportunity, right? So there's always opportunities to reuse the skills that you have. Sometimes people think like, well, I'm switching careers. I used to be a video editor. Now I want to be a web developer. Like, do I get to keep some of these skills? Do I get to use them? And yes, there's opportunities for that. There's going to be, jobs that you can use certain skills that you might have from other jobs and gives you an edge, right? Same thing as working in certain industries. Let's say, for example, you worked at a car dealership, right? You worked at a car dealership and you're probably like, man, I was doing sales for, let's say, 5-10 years as a car salesman, right? Now I want to get into tech, right? Guess what? Within the car industry, there's tech departments, right? There's companies that sell cars online, and there's companies that build websites for car dealerships. So that knowledge and experience that you have, those 5-10 years as a car salesman, now you could transfer that over. You just switching departments. You're still working in the same industry. And I always suggest to people to do it that way, so you could always earn even more from the beginning. Because if somebody comes in and says, well, I got 10 years as a car salesman and I decide to work for autotrader.com, let's say, right? Guess what? I know cars. I know this industry. So that gives me, even though I'm a beginner or entry-level position as a junior developer, I could demand an extra $10,000 that the average junior developer wouldn't be able to demand because they have no knowledge in the industry. Okay, it's the same thing as a teacher. If I'm a teacher, right, and I work for 5 years teaching kids, in I don't know, 1st grade to 5th grade, whatever, right, elementary school. And now I'm switching over into the tech industry. I want to learn certain skills, maybe CRM specialist, web content editor, web content specialist, or email marketing specialist, etc. And I'm switching into, let's say, into this tech industry and this, this new career. I'm choosing to apply first at universities, at companies who do education online, right? Because now I come with something that other candidates don't have. They don't know shit about education. They don't know shit about, teaching people, right? And they don't know how it works. They might not even get a fingerprint, right? You need a fingerprint to be able to go in and, they got to check all your stuff. You got to get your clearance. You got to do all the stuff. And maybe because you already have your clearance, that already gives you the opportunity to get the job faster than somebody else. Same thing for somebody in the military. Okay, let's say right now you just retired from the military. You did your 20 years, your 15 years. You got hurt, and now they gave you, retirement, whatever, right? And now you come in and you're like, well, I want to go in and I want to work in the tech industry. I want to be a software engineer. I want to be a front-end developer. I want to be a web administrator. I want to be email marketing specialist. I want to be a webmaster, right? Guess what? The first thing that I would do is I would look into jobs that are connected to military, connected to government, because I have something that the average person don't have. Guys, this is how you go in and you always have a job, okay? Because you go in and you put the odds in your favor. Guys, we're here to make money. Press number 1 if you're here to make money. Press number 2 if you're doing this shit as a hobby. I want to see, can we do a poll real quick? Can we do this shit in a poll real quick? Let me see if I can open up the polls, okay? Let me open up the polls. You get what I'm saying? Let's open up the poll because I want to get that data right now. I want to see how many of you guys, y'all here to get a bag or y'all here to do this shit as a hobby. All right. I'm very interested in this. Okay. I don't know what the hell. YouTube sucks on desktop sometimes because it's supposed to allow me to see, to set up a poll. I want to go and set up a poll for this because this is good information. Let me see if I set it up through the chat through here. Let me see, where is it? Okay, there we go. Okay, open up. Okay, start a poll. Okay, you're learning to go for a bag. All right. Okay. All right, and start the poll. Putting it in there right there. Okay, let's see. Start voting. Okay, it's live. Vote now. Let me know. I want to see. I want to get this data. I want to see where you guys is at. I want to see where your mind is at. All right. While that poll's still going, let's go into Ohio and continue with this. Okay. So again, we have opportunities in Ohio. QA automation engineer. Right, QA is another opportunity. It's just I've never gotten into QA, but I know some people can make some really good money with QA, depending on what industry you're in, right, and also to what are the skills that you have. But there's some guys that make some really good money with QA. It just sucks that most of the time I'll be seeing people that to start their first job is like really, really low because it's almost damn near tech support. Some companies, they treat it as if it's tech support, and that's the problem. Okay, let's see over here. So this is a RPG programmer analyst to join our team. Practical application programming experience using IBM Series RPG. Okay. This is one of those things that's so niche that in reality, like most people don't know this stuff. Okay. So you could still apply to a position like this if you know how to code and you can show that you have the right skills. Because to be honest with you, like most people is not going to know this shit. Like I've never heard of this IBM iSeries RPG, right? So if I haven't heard of this shit and I've been in this game for 10 plus years, I can tell you this is not something big. This is some shit that's super niche to a specific industry that uses this tool. So at that point, they're not going to find the guy that they want with like 3-5 years. They're going to need somebody to come in and hit the ground running that can actually learn whatever it is and has a solid foundation behind them. But they're not gonna find somebody with 3 years of experience of this, okay? Because I've never heard of this thing. Okay, let me see. Shout out to everybody in here. Boom, boom, boom. Software engineer. So Ohio seems like it got a couple of opportunities, but not that many. Like, I'll be honest. Okay. Seems like a lot of senior roles, right? Senior state of Ohio Legislative Informational Systems. Okay. So let me see what else. Yeah, so as you can see, it's very short in Ohio. Okay. So I just searched HTML, right? So that's going to show me the majority of jobs, focusing on this date, which is like the closest date. So let me go into, let's see, let's go into Florida. Yeah, that's where somebody mentioned Florida. Okay. Florida, surprisingly, has a lot of jobs. The only issue is that the highest paying jobs usually are in Miami. But again, it's more expensive in Miami. Now, there's also some opportunities here in Tampa. I see a lot of opportunities in Tampa. Okay. Look at this, senior application engineer, Navy Federal Credit Union. Okay, 114 to 180,000. So with this, you already know that you're gonna have to need some experience. Okay, so they're using Microsoft Dynamics 365, right? This is another good skill. I've been seeing this a lot. Microsoft Dynamics 365. If you get into that ecosystem of Microsoft, the C#, right? The Windows, the Windows ecosystem in a sense, right? You're gonna see this a lot. Microsoft Dynamics 365, and it seems like a lot of companies are hiring for that because not a lot of people know about it. But one thing that I've been noticing too, a lot of Indians been taking these jobs, right? And that's not a bad thing, because what happens is that if there's not enough people that's doing this type of development, let somebody else do it, right? So you'll see a lot of guys that coming from India, they're learning these skills. I don't know who tells them this shit. like there's a guy, they have a guy here in the US, right? That they be like, hey guys, my good friends, yo, they hiring for Microsoft Dynamics. That's what's coming in the next 6 months. Okay. So a guy I don't know how they know, but they know, man. Shout out to the Indians. They're hustlers, man. They know how to get that bag. Okay, because I haven't seen nobody really talk about this, okay, at all. Like here in the US, like you don't see that. Go online, search software engineer, full stack developer, search any of that, right? Ain't nobody talking about Microsoft Dynamics 365, but somehow all the Indians know this shit. like who's giving them the info? You get what I'm saying? Like I'm about to start even watching some Indian channels and be like, yo, let me go check them out. Because they seem to know whatever is going on in corporate, they already know ahead of time. Like, yo, listen, man, Microsoft Dynamics is gonna be the next thing for the next 5 years. And it's like, yo, everybody knows that already. But yeah, so if you want to be in that ecosystem, definitely pay attention to that. Let me see, marketing coordinator, technical SEO specialist. Again, like you can see, this very low pay in Florida. But always remember, it's not where you start, it's where you end up at. Some of these jobs, if you see something like this, $41,000 to $52,000, they're not gonna go in and throw you the algorithm books. They're not gonna go in and make you go through hell. And by you getting this job, believe it or not, this is what's gonna put you on a path to get that 90, that 100, 120. Don't be one of these people that they be like, well, I'm not taking this job because it's not paying me what I want. Well, wait for the job that pays you what you want then. Now, if you be here for 6 months without a job, that's on you. Sometimes you got to go with the market, right? And it is what it is. It's up to you. You don't have to take it, but if you are in need of money, right, then it is what it is. You got to survive somehow. And that's just how it is. I see a lot of people that be like, well, no, I'm not applying. I'm not taking a job because it's low bowling and this and that. I'm not taking the job. It's like, you've never done this shit before. You have zero experience. You've never had any experience with building anything. You did a YouTube video. You took a 8-hour YouTube video and have 77,000 Udemy courses that you never completed. So if someone comes in and says, hey man, we're willing to take a risk on you and give you 50,000, guess what? That's better than you being out here without no job. But I'm just saying, that's just me. I think differently, right? I think of, I gotta make money. Now, if you got it like that and you like, yo, I got savings, I'm good, Joe. Shit, chill out. Do what you gotta do. Invest that time into yourself, learn new skills, and try to see if you get the dream job that you want. But, you know, for the average person, they're one paycheck away from, you know, losing everything. So if you're in a position where like, okay, I'm eating through my savings and I find an opportunity, don't say no to the opportunity. Because first of all, you don't have to tell nobody how much you earn. That's between you and your company. That's number one. Number two, you don't have to go in and compare yourself to anybody else. Your situation is your situation. A lot of these people are papi and mommy kids, right? That they don't have to fucking focus on, you know, they got to worry about paying bills like that, okay? A lot of times there's people that's just papi and mommy kids, or people who have been, how can I say this? Like, have been in very good situations where they have some good savings, right? Maybe they bought a house in 2018 before things bubbled up, right? And now they have $200,000 in equity. So they could go in and pull from their equity. And with that, they could survive 2 years until they find the right job. You, on the other hand, you over here on the Honda Civic 1998, right? You, on the other hand, fucking hustling to pay your phone bill and doing what you got to do. Don't compare yourself to that person, because your situation is not like that fucking guy. He could sit down and chill out and be like, yo, I'll wait for the right job. You, on the other hand, you got to go in and bring bread to the house. You get what I'm saying? So again, I'm not saying that this is everybody's situation, but I'm just talking to you that's watching this. I know, and you know what I know, that you know what I know. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, if that makes sense to you, I'm talking to you. Don't let nobody put pressure on you. Don't let nobody go in and tell you, hey man, don't take that job, it's too low. The truth is that once you take a job, it's bringing income to your house, okay? And that's what matters. That's number one. Number two, when you decide, hey, I want to get another job, no one's stopping you from applying to other companies. Little do you know that by you having this job here and picking up certain skills and having experience, now those jobs that were paying 85, 90, 100,000 that wasn't even looking at you, now 3 months later, because you do have the skills and you already been trained by a company, someone might go in and say, you know what, let's give him that job. Bring him in. Let's see what he got. He's got a good portfolio. He's already working. Let's see what he got. And then now you go into the interview, you smile to the right person, you fucking wear the right dress. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There's so much shit and so much variables that could get somebody hired, right? Like, it's the facts, right? You go into interview and someone might go to the same high school you went to. Someone might be from your same hometown. And now you click. Now that person is vouching for you behind the scenes. And next thing you know, you got a job. But you would have never gotten that job if you didn't take that $50,000, $60,000 job. You would have been here waiting until somebody gives you a chance. It's up to you. Let me see. Reading through here. Shout out to everybody in here. Arc Fuse says, hey Joe, can you quickly recap the trading course and who is geared for? It's for beginners. Right? It's for beginners or anybody that has maybe tried trading but wasn't profitable. Okay. Again, you know, this course is really going through everything that I wish somebody would have taught me. That's how I like to teach. Right? There's a lot of mistakes that you make in life, right? And what you do is once you make those mistakes, you learn from them. Now, with this course, what I'm doing, I'm basically giving you everything I wish someone would have told me before I even started trading or even halfway through, because it has taken me 3 years to get to a point where I'm profitable. But if I would have known the things that I know now, it would have been a different story. If someone would have packaged it up this way for me. So like, I'll give you an example, right? I know I went kind of over this in the beginning, but he's asking me, okay? So there's people that like, yo, we getting back on this trading shit? Like, guys, I'm answering his question, okay? So I give you an example, right? So the first section is we're talking about, introducing the course, okay? What are the tools we're going to use? Looking to become rich trading, watch this. This is the most important thing. And I'll give you a quick glimpse on it. If you're thinking about becoming rich trading, you're going to freaking lose money. 95% of people lose money because they come in with that mentality of, I'm going to become rich trading. That doesn't work like that. All these guys that you see that are making a lot of money trading is two ways, okay? They make a lot of money by, number one, they go in and they build capital. Some of them already have capital. Some of them are building it up, right? And once they build it up, then now you see those numbers where you'll be like, whoa, hey, I just closed a position for $1,500. I just closed a position for $7,000. I just closed a position for $200,000. Those people, they got bread, right? They got cash. And they've been trading for years. So the reason why they're able to make that money is because, the stars align. It's very simple. It comes with experience, and it comes about having the capital. Once you have the experience and you know what you're doing, and then you have the capital, matching heaven, okay? You could go in and make unlimited income. But until you could go in and say, I know what I'm doing, okay? You should not be putting real money into it. So this is what I'm doing with this course, right? I'm teaching you the skills and the actual tools that you need to know. Even like on this, like, I give you an example. Like, we have a section here, right? Important keywords you will hear in trading, right? Important keywords that you will hear in trading. That sometimes you watch a YouTube tutorial or a YouTube video or whatever, or somebody says, hey, how did I win this much? And they say, well, I basically got the fair value gap, right? I saw where it was, da-da-da. And you'll be like, as a regular person, I'm like, what the hell is that? So I'm giving you all the keywords, the shit that you need to know. So when you hear people talking about certain things, like FOMO, a lot of people don't know what that is, right? There's a bunch of other things. I'm not going to give all the keywords because then what's the point of you taking the course? But there's a bunch of keywords and things that are said in trading, in the ecosystem of trading, that if you didn't know these things, you're going to be lost. My first year, I was lost in a lot of times. There will be people talking about certain things and I'll be like, wait, what? I don't know about this. I don't know about that. But I'm just trading. Right? So I'm trying to save you from that. Right? We talk about trading versus investing. We talk about the types of markets. We talk about how traders actually make money. I show you the whole process and explain to you how is it that these big guys that you see online that get you hyped and be like, whoa, this guy just made $200,000. How does he do it? It's a combination of getting in, getting out, having the experience, and having the capital. When you are a beginner, right, you're saying, hey, man, I want to make $500 a day. Okay. That means that you're trying to make 50% of your total amount of your portfolio. Maybe you have $1,000. Okay. Maybe you have only $1,000 in your account and you're like, man, I'm trying to get 50% of that. That's difficult. That shit doesn't happen every day. To make 50% of your whole portfolio, that doesn't happen every day. One thing that I learned from all of the big traders and the people that make a lot of money, they're looking at 1%. They're looking at 0.5%, right? And you might say that's bullshit. It's true. Go look up, search people that like online. I'm also giving like a resource of like all the people that you should follow, because this is just like in development. When you get into this world trading, and that's why I love trading and I love coding, because they're so like align with each other. It's the same concepts. You got to learn the skills, right? Then once you learn the skills, then from there, sky's the limit. Until you learn the skills, you're going to be lost. And guess what? You're going to need a lot of resources. Same way how you have me and you watching me on YouTube, right? You say, well, I'm watching Coding Phase. Guess what? Maybe you need a Web Dev Simplified. Maybe you need to go watch a Traversing Media. Maybe you need to watch a Dennis Ivey. Maybe you also need to watch a Chris Sean, right? Because we are all giving you a certain advice that's helping you, expedite this journey. It's the same thing with trading. There's certain individuals that you need to, because you can learn a lot of good things. I give you an example, like this girl, Tori Trades. Okay, Victoria Duke. She kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie, right? There's a lot of guys that be like, yo, I'm just following because she bad. Nah, she knows her shit. A lot of, there's a lot of misogynistic shit in this trading world. It's like guys who want to put, see whose shit is longer. You know what I'm saying? And when a girl comes in and she's killing it, a lot of people hate on her, right? It's the same thing when you see a Spanish guy or a black guy. All these other motherfuckers, they come in. Anybody that's a minority in whatever niche it is, all these other fucking dweebs, they hate on them, right? But she's solid. She's solid. The way how she trades is very good. And that's like somebody that I will go in and say, hey, follow this person. You don't have to go in and like sign up to the program or do this and that. Everything that I'm teaching you in the course is exactly what you're going to need. But the content that they create, the real life shit that she goes through is the same shit that you're going to go through when you're actually trading. And listening to somebody that has gone through that can give you pointers on, on the psychology of this thing, or like her thing is trend lines, and trend lines work. That's one of my strategies myself too, which is using trend lines and focusing on trend lines. There's some people that like Ross Cameron. Ross Cameron is a momentum trader. Okay. Another good person, I'm not going to give the whole game, right? I'm about to start giving all the resources. I'm not going to give you the whole resource. Okay. Because it took me a while to find, the right resources, the right things, right? So the game is to be sold, not to be told, unfortunately. Okay. Because I spent a lot of money to accumulate all this knowledge and be able to get to a point that's profitable. And that's another thing too. When people be like, well, when you see one of these guys that's making X amount of dollars, right? Like a TJR, right? TJR is, I'll show you him. You probably seen him before. Okay. TJR, right? So he's a young kid. He's funny as hell. He's solid too. He knows what he's doing, but he's at a point where he's lost focus. Right? He's in that world of like, I'm buying new cars and this and that. Like, he's not the same as he used to be years ago. But now I could tell you, he knows what he's doing. But when he goes in and he shows, hey man, I just made a $50,000 day. You have to understand, where's his capital coming from? Okay? Where's his capital coming from? Right? His capital is coming from, the majority is from the courses that he sold. Right? And it's fine. Sometimes people get hate on that and be like, well, he's making money from selling a course. But what people don't understand is that if he wasn't already profitable as a trader, he wouldn't be able to teach this shit. Okay? A lot of times people don't understand that. People get mad at the person that creates a course and sells it. But what they don't understand is that everyone that goes in and gets into trading, they lose money. So how are you going to make your money back, right? It's not going to be just by trading. You're going to do your job. You're going to do a digital product. You're going to do a collaboration. You're going to do a sponsorship. You're going to do all of these things, right? Now, because he has a solid, a solid strategy that's already working. People's not going to follow somebody if they believe that their strategy is going to be bullshit, right? But once they already, like, let's say, for example, if I go in and I start making $5,000 every single day, let's say, an example. That means that I have in my portfolio most likely around $100,000, right? So I'm trading with $100,000 in play, and I'm able to make 5%, right, of that portfolio on a daily basis. Now, if I go in and I have a business where now people is coming to me and say, hey, Joe, I want to learn from you on how you are able to go in and trade, right? And now I'm able to take that $100,000 that I initially have, and that business sells by X amount of money, because trading is big. You know, like right now I'm creating this course. It's really just, I'm in a sense, I'm giving it out. It's $150, 50% off. Next month I'm gonna put it for the diamond membership. I'm basically giving it away because I want people to come in and learn the skills so they could be safe and know what they're doing. But the guys that's moving with this, they're charging $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, because if you learn the skill, you're gonna make that $5,000 to $10,000 10 times, 20 times. So they know their value. You get what I'm saying? Maybe I don't know my value, right? Maybe I go in or I'm willing to go in and give this shit out. But these guys, they know their value. So when they go in, right, I'm giving you guys the game. You know me, I'm super transparent. These guys go in and say, well, I got to a point where I'm able to have a portfolio of 100,000. People want to learn from me how I'm able to make 5,000. Now that allows me to now build capital up to $1 million. Let's say he goes in, has like, I don't know, 1,000 people buying $3,000 course. How much is that? That's like what? That's like fucking $3 million or some shit like that. So now someone like TJR or Ross Cameron, guess what? By them having this skill that allows them to make $1,500 a day, $5,000 a day, they now have the capital to go in and do even bigger moves. So when they now have that capital, they go in and show you, hey, I made $50,000 today. I made $100,000 today, right? Now you as a beginner, again, and I was in that same stage too. I used to be like, yo, I'm about to kill him with $5,000, $10,000. You're not gonna get $50,000 with $5,000. That's not that it's impossible, but that's like winning the lottery. You're not gonna win the lottery every single day, and most likely you're gonna lose. But because these guys already gotten their capital up, and now they have more to play with in their portfolios, you'll see those crazy days of $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000. But now think about this like this. If you start with $1,000 trading, okay, and you make 3% out of that $1,000 that day, you're looking at that like it's bullshit. You're like, man, 3%, what's that? $30? But what you don't know is these guys that's on top, that's what they're doing. They go in $1 million play, right? They do $1 million trade, right? And then from there, only get 3%, which is the equivalent of you with your $30. So how do you get to that point to get to those guys where you're making 30,000? Well, you got to build your capital. It's not about taking more risk. It's about building a system that works for you. And then once you have that system that works for you, you go in and you scale. This is what we're doing right now with this course. I'm showing you guys, this is the shit that they don't talk about. They don't show you this shit. I'm talking about it because I want people, whoever comes in, takes this course, and whoever comes to coding phase, like this is part of coding phase. You come to coding phase, you learn the skill of coding, you learn the skill how to get a job. Then from there, this is the next stage. The things that I wish somebody would have told me when I was a beginner developer or getting into this new career, because I made a lot of money, I just didn't know what to invest it. I didn't know how to invest, how to really, trade, or how to do any of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Now with the knowledge that I have, you're going to see what we're going to be doing this year. You know what I'm saying? Why you think I sold my house? I realized a lot of shit. I can't have my money inside of a house. I need my cash. Because now when I have my cash, I'm building up my capital and putting it into investments. Having money in a house is like you having your money frozen until the day you sell, right? Now, if you're planning on just like leaving it there for years and 30 years, yeah, you'll make $1 million in 30 years. But do I want to fucking wait 30 years to make $1 million? When in reality, I could come in and take $300,000 in profit, come in now with the skills that I have, go in and start doing $50,000 plays, take that $300,000 and the other cash that I have, go in and start making plays where we can now jump into not buying properties for me, buying properties for other people to live in. Buying multifamily homes, buying fucking, you get what I'm saying? This is the game now. This is the shit that I wish somebody would have told me. Because I should have started this shit years ago. I should have started this shit 2013. 2013, I should have been doing this. But my mind was like, all this shit is a scam. All this shit is fake. All this shit is bullshit. And it's not. The thing is that you just got to know the tools. Same way how we learn how to code. You know, it's like when somebody come in and I tell my friends, I'm like, yo, bro, you know people making $100,000 a year coding, bro. You know what I did last year. You see me, I got the Benz, I got this, I just bought a house. I'm showing all my friends, yo, y'all need to learn how to code. They're looking at me like, nah, bro, that shit's for nerds. That shit's for, people who are good in math. You need a degree for that. Mind you, I don't got no degree in computer science. I've done pretty well without a degree in computer science, right? So I'm trying to put them on, but they're like, nah, that shit is fake. Same shit like one of you guys probably watching this and be like, oh, this shit is fake. Cool. Think that. And that's why you stay in the same situation you're in. 10 years from now, you're going to look back and you're going to be like, wow, I wish I would have fucking known about this. I wish I would have fucking paid attention. There's things like even in this trading course, we're going to talk about Roth IRA, traditional IRA, like how to go in and even start setting up your how you call this, your retirement. Like I've made so much bread and I haven't really invested into my retirement like that. Like knowing what I know now, probably, since like May, right? Like my mind has shifted. And like I've really focused all 2023, 2024 into, really like learning about finances, learning about investment, learning about all of those things. And then everything clicked around May. You know what I'm saying? And I realized I've made a lot of mistakes over the years. I got a lot of money, but I didn't do what I needed to do with that bread, because when I went in, after I knew everything that I needed to know, I realized that I should be at $10, $20 million right now. Am I there? No. But that's because I didn't have the knowledge. Now it's not too late. Today's my birthday. Today's 38, right? I still got time. This is where you go in and you switch it up and you say, okay, boom, let's start doing this shit the right way from here on. Where, we're putting into Roth IRA for long-term investments, right? Where you're not paying taxes on that. You basically put the money that's in there is you're not going to pay taxes for your retirement. Have my wife on a traditional IRA. So we could basically go in and deduct that into the taxes. Okay. So if I go in and I earn, let's say, for example, this year, let's just say to keep a regular number, even number, let's say 100,000, I could deduct like $7,000 off that. So instead of me getting charged for 100,000 in tax, I'm getting charged for 93. Then we go into the fact that we're married. So now it's even higher. You know what I'm saying? So there's so much shit that by not knowing, right? And that's why I'm having this extra section on Coding Phase called what happens, like learning, after learning to code that's the name of it. After learning to code, that's where this trading course is going to live in, right? And everybody who's in Coding Phase get access to that. This is shit that no one tells you. You don't have people. This is not stuff that people come in and like, yo, buddy, make sure you set up your Roth IRA. Like nobody's putting you on, right? But people are doing it and people are having this shit set up. And next thing you know, 20 years from now, you go back in and you be like, yeah, man, I got this much saved. and you're like, yeah, you got like $500,000 saved. Yeah, but I got like 15 million for my retirement. And then now you're looking around like, what did I do wrong? Well, you didn't you didn't invest. You didn't fucking learn this skills. You didn't take the time to do this shit. Again, that's what I'm trying to do with this course, right? This course is gonna be a series of courses where I'm gonna go in. The first thing that I want to teach is just trading, right? How to use the tools. This is not a course to make you a millionaire, because you got to figure out your own way, right? What makes sense to you. I'm teaching you the skills, how all of this shit works, and the tools, and giving you my first strategy that has worked for me, right? From there, you could use that, or you could find your own strategy once you already know how to use this tool. It's like the same thing right now. You can learn how to code with me, but in reality, once I teach you how to code and help you get your first job, you could be a software engineer, you could be a full stack developer, you could focus on Node.js, you could focus on Python, whatever you want, because you already learned the foundation and everything that you needed to learn. Then from there, you could just make your own decisions. That's what I'm doing with this course. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. I know I don't know why when I explain some shit, I just go into every detail. I should just be like, yo, bro, it's a cool course, and that's it. Be like, yo, we saved you 5 minutes of me explaining this. But hopefully for somebody watching this, that answers that. Reading through here. Can you check my website? What's your website, bro? Happy birthday, yo. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yes, the Roth IRA is good because you're basically, you're paying the taxes already. You know what I'm saying? It's already, taxes already paid. So when you go in and you have this money grow, you basically get it, like here's your bread. You could take out all your money if you want at the end, right? For retirement. A traditional one, you basically offsetting your taxes. So let's say, for example, one of you guys, you have, let's say you make $100,000 in this year. So you're not going to get taxed on the whole 100,000. You get taxed on 93% of it, because you already put in 7,000 into your traditional. But the day that you decide to take it out for your retirement, you're going to pay taxes there. And the problem is that if you have a higher income at that time, right? And you say, let's say you take out 20,000, 30,000. Now, if you're making, let's say a good 50,000, 100,000, whatever you're making by your retirement, and you take out an extra 50,000, now it puts you in a tax bracket of 150,000. So you got to go in and pay those taxes that's going to be higher. Now, if you do it with a Roth IRA and you pay your taxes now on it, as as a regular income, right? And you basically just putting that money in there, which is already counting for the taxes that you're gonna pay for this year. Then now, when you do take out your money, if that thing grew into $5 million, you could take out your whole $5 million and be like, boom, and you're not paying taxes to nobody. You get what I'm saying? Like if you was to go in, like that's my plan right now. Right now, I got a bunch of stocks in just the future of especially future of America, like as far as like robotics, right? I got of course like the Nvidias, the Apple, the Meta, right? Microsoft. I got a lot into those stocks. Palantir, I got in Open, I believe in Open Door. What else I have in there? I have some in gold, right? And now I'm getting back into Bitcoin, like investing into Bitcoin. And again, I'm just letting that shit grow. This is shit that I'm just letting it sit. I'm not touching it. I don't care if it drops 50%, drops 90%. This is shit that's going to be worth a bunch of money 10 years from now, right? And that was another thing too, like talking about trading versus investing, right? I know, sorry guys, y'all here like, I'm here for code, Joe. What the hell? I get passionate about this because this is information that I wish someone would have fucking put me on, bro. Like, you have no idea like how important this shit is. This could completely change your life if you do it early enough. The longer you wait, it's like you start from that moment. You get what I'm saying? So, so yeah, like I give you a great example. Like I used to own a lot of Nvidia stocks in like 2015, around there, 2016. I doubled my money and I sold it, right? Then I bought again in 2023, and once my stocks doubled, meaning that if I put in $25 and I make another $25, I just took the money out. Now, mind you, where is that money? I don't fucking blew it. I don't fucking went outside. I don't bought fucking a bunch of shit. Bought cars, bought this and that. Went on 20 fucking vacations. Now, mind you, if I would have kept that 25,000 till now, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? But this is the shit that when you're in the moment, you just don't see it. Those long-term investments is what you're gonna go in and ball out 10 years from now. You get what I'm saying? Now I'm 10 years into this shit. Remember, I started 2011, right? Which career-wise has been great. But if I would have known what I know now in 2011, 2012, the story will be completely different in the sense of who knows where the fuck I be. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I've made a lot of money with this career, right? But by not having this piece, this is why I'm adding it to coding phases, because it's probably the most important thing. Because once you get a job and you get into this career, how do you go in and make sure that you set yourself for success? Not in 5 years, 10 years. How do you set up that success for 10 years? Because guess what? You might be right now 30 something years old and you might get your first job now. Wouldn't it be nice that you be like, I don't have to work again by my 40s. I don't have to work. Like right now, this is my goal. I'm 38. I'm setting everything up. By 45, I'm not working. But for me to do that, I had to learn all of the skills, because I realized it's not about just making more money. Remember, I used to say that, yeah, shit gets expensive, I just make more money. Well, making more money means working more. Like, where you think this gray hairs and all this shit come from? People be thinking I'll be fucking in here, like, I'll be fucking just typing shit, like, yo, this shit is easy. No, I gotta work. I gotta bust my ass. I gotta do fucking 10 hours, 12 hours a day sometimes, and work hard to you know, grow my company, from running ads to fucking doing YouTube, to doing my digital agency, to fucking managing people, hiring contractors, fucking talking to sponsors. This, all that shit is mad work. I'm doing that shit for like 8-10 hours in a day. Before, it used to be up to 12-14 hours I used to do, you know, back in like 2018, 2019, to build the company. So what I realized is like, okay, I can make more money working harder and working more. But what happens as you start getting older, you don't want to work harder. You want to go in and say, well, how do I make sure that if I go in and I work 2 hours, that I'm maximizing my income in those 2 hours? So now my days could be more chill, and I just spend 2 hours working, and I could hang out with my kids, or maybe I'm living, you know, close to the beach, and I could just go for the beach for fucking in my electric bike all day. You know what I'm saying? How do I do that? That's why I had to go in and invest into this part, which is I got to learn these new skills. And that's why I'm trying to put you guys on, because some of you guys might look at this shit, but this is bullshit. But there's going to be 1 or 2 of you guys that's going to listen and watch this course and watch what, you know, the pathway that I've set up for you guys. And what took me 10 years, you're going to do it in 2 to 3 years. And you're going to zoom right past me. Because guess what? You got the information that I didn't have. And that's how it is. You know, you can't be mad at it. You can't be mad when, you know, the student passes the teacher. Guess what? That student got those 10 years, 20 years of that teacher, that now he's able to bypass that. And from there, he'll make his own mistakes and he'll make his own thing. But we just saved him 10 years of his life of mistakes, you know? So again, it is what it is. That's what that course is about. Guys, shout out to everybody in here. Marcus Harrison said, "Don't apologize, Joe. You're dropping financial gems that have generational benefits." Yeah, man. I'm just trying to put people on, man, for the people that want to listen. You know what I mean? I just feel bad sometimes because I'm like, man, I maybe I should just do stuff, talk about this type of topics in another channel. At the same time, it's like this is what this channel is about, right? Coding phase, right? If you go back to these first videos, I go back into like the coding phase, the original videos that we had there back in 2017. This is what this channel is about. This channel is not about me giving tutorials, me giving, some random advice. Like, this channel is about this, of, me going through life and helping other people and putting them on to shit that I wish someone would have put me on. When I first started my first video on coding phase, that, if go watch it, that's like really what I'm talking about. I'm like, yo, why learning to code is a good thing for your career. Why, using my life as an example. So if I go in and I'm putting a lot of you guys into this career and telling you, hey man, this is a good career and you're gonna make a lot of money, I should also come in and tell you, hey, you gotta be financially, financially smart enough, or in a sense, or know enough about finance to understand that you're gonna make a lot of money, but you don't have to work 10 years in this industry. You could work 5 years and be good from there on. Again, a perfect example of this is my boy Will Motivation. Go ask Will Motivation how long he was a software engineer. That dude was a software engineer for like 3-4 years. And now you look on his channel, he's fucking got Lambos, Ferraris, fucking 6-7 homes, 3-4 homes that he flips every year, that he builds them and sells them, right? Resells them, because he was there studying finance. Sometimes as a developer, we focus so much in the code that we miss out on these other pieces of life, right? And that's why I'm adding to to coding phase. You know what I mean? And this is what this channel's been about since the beginning. Go to YouTube, click on videos, go to the oldest videos, right? This channel was not about just tutorial. It's about going in, talking about, hey, why this career is a good career. What are the good things that have happened to me in this career? What are the bad things that have happened in my career? What are the things that I'm trying to save you? I mean, I was talking about this 8 years ago. Web developers and relationships. Okay? Being the type of person, right? And being a developer, right? Being a developer, and how can I say this? Being a developer and not having the right person in like next to you, either a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever you're into, right? Not having the right person that could support you could literally hinder your whole career, could really derail you completely. Okay? And those are things that I've been talking about since the beginning. Again, I wish all the shit that I know now, fast forward 10 plus years in this game, that I should have started this shit earlier, right? Understanding the fundamentals of trading is something that extremely important. And it's really just about the market. Cloud says he got like 60 plus homes. Yeah, man. Go check out Will Motivation. You know what I mean? Like, if you be like, yo, Joe be bullshit, don't believe me, go check out Will Motivation. That's my boy. And tell him, yo, Coding Face sent me. He said you legit. Okay? Go check out my man's. Like, dude's been solid for years, and he's been killing it. And I should have been listening to him even back then, like 7 years ago, right? But I've been so much into code and so much into all this other shit that now it's like, when I realize, I'm like, yo, I gotta start moving better. I can't just be blowing money. And also too, I can't just continue going in and doing the same shit I was doing in my 20s, in my 30s. we're not learning, right? There's some dudes that's out here that they learn all this shit in their 20s, in their 30s, they're fucking balling out. Will Motivation is older than me. Will Motivation is like in 40 something. But go check him out. If you don't believe me, go check him out. Okay? Started from software engineer to now fucking, killing it now. Dude probably worked as a software engineer for like 2-3 years. But because when you have that financial literacy, it's a different ballgame. You're playing, the rules of the game. When you don't know this shit, we're playing blindly. We're just here. We're playing the system of we work and we get paid from our work. The guys that know all this shit and been fucking reading up and investing and trusting in themselves and taking risks on themselves, this is how you end up. I'm giving myself, this is my new goal. By 20, right now we're in 2025, 2030, whole different ballgame, right? Whole different ballgame. You might see it by next year, the moves that I'm making. Even with this new version of Coding Phase is about to blow up with everything that we're doing. But at the same time, when all this money is coming in, I can't do this shit how I did this shit 10 years ago. I got to go in and start like really making the right moves, chess moves. Okay. Shout out to everybody in here. Nigga said, how can I cash app you, my boy? Nah, man, we good. All you have to do, look, if you fuck with me, right, and you want to show some love, come to codingphase.com. If you're already a diamond member on codingphase.com, that's enough. You show me enough love. You know what I'm saying? Let me work. I don't need no gifts or no nothing. Let me work for you. Let me put you on and help you out in this journey. And whatever I could do, you pay me for my work. That's it. Don't give me nothing for free. Yeah, man. Will Motivation, he's 52. Yeah, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Will is 10 years basically above me. 10, 12 years, 14 years above me. So that's the thing. That's where I got to make the right moves, and I had to learn the right skills to get to that position. Because, when I came to Florida, I was still with that hood mentality, child mentality. Like, yeah, we going out, we balling out. Yeah, we doing vacation here, we doing this. When I go in and I start looking at all this shit, right? Again, go back to with the stuff with like the hurricane. That was the camel that was it the straw that broke the camel's back, right? It just made me realize like you could lose everything. And you think you have a lot of money. You might go like, yo, I got $1 million. You think you got a lot of money? That's not real money. Right? Because you could lose everything. You could, in one sweep, you could lose everything. I lost almost fucking 30-40% of my fucking whole capital that I had. Right? Luckily, I got my money back. But even at that, by not even knowing the right things and the right moves, right? I could have probably left with even more. But I just didn't know. I didn't know the right shit. So then now, with all of this stuff that has happened to me, I realized I got to move better. I can't go do this shit like how I've been doing, especially because I'm getting older. Today's my birthday. I'm 38. I'm getting older. You know what I'm saying? How do I make sure that if I go in and I make $500,000 to $1 million in a year, that money we could save as much as possible and invest into real shit that's going to pay us 5-10 years from now, so I don't have to work as much as I did the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about working so hard. It's about working smart. But anyways, guys, listen, I'm about to get out of here. It's getting a little hot. I got to do a bunch of videos that we're adding to the Trading Fundamentals course today. As you can see, we have a lot of sections that we added in here. Just yesterday alone. This is how you know I was grinding yesterday, right? Every day I'm adding more stuff. Trading, investing, types of market, how to trade, how traders actually make money, cash accounts versus margin accounts, pattern day trade rule, regular T, portfolio margin, important understanding how you can make or lose money. People, they don't understand that part, right? And it's very important. I'm bringing this topics up every few videos. Like, bro, this is how you're going to make, but this is how you could also lose. So you have to go in and always protect your investment. Okay. Important keywords so you don't be lost when you start hearing certain topics and certain things. Again, because most people's coming in as beginners, I'm thinking, right? So I want to make sure that I'm giving you all of the resources that you're going to need. From there, right now, the main differences between stocks and futures. And from there, the next section is going to be that I'm going to record right after this live stream. We're going to go in and talk about the difference between how stocks and futures work. I'm going to make a video about that, just like the pricing, right? So I'm going to do that. And then from there, we're going to go into learning how to use TradingView. So before you even get to trade, we want to learn how to use TradingView. I did it the opposite way. This is how I'm trying to teach it to you guys. Like, no. You don't want to get into Webull or any platform until you could actually understand how to use TradingView. And then from there, how to do paper trading within TradingView. Then from there, we go into the trading platform, right? So again, I'm doing it the right way so you could go in and you could learn the proper way without you fucking losing any money. And the goal is for you to learn the skill, not to just go in and be like, hey, I'm gonna be a millionaire. Like, if you have that shit in your mind, don't even take the course. You're gonna lose. The goal is to make the money grow little by little. That if you say, well, I'm growing 5%, 3% a day, right? That's much better than you saving in a bank account where on a yearly you might make a 1%. With this, constantly by doing that, at the end of the month, you'll probably, make a good, 30 to 80% of your initial investment if you do it right. And if you go in little by little, you let it grow. Okay. Even if you just grow 1% a day, that means that by the end of the month, you basically grew your account by 20%, 21%. Okay. That's how you got to look at this. All right. Anyways, guys, it's your boy Joe back at it again, codingphase.com. I love you guys. Thank you for all the happy birthdays and everything. Yeah, man. Love it, man. I'll see you guys later. It's your boy Joe back at it again, codingphase.com. Peace.